I've really been enjoying these conversations, and it's because I get to talk to really cool people. In this conversation, Lauren and I talked to Kendra St. Pierre about all the really cool things that she's done in her life, which really culminated into her real estate career and all the different areas in which she's touched people has been able to impact how she's able to generate business. So if you want to hear Kendra's story about how she was able to transition to several different cool jobs in her life into the real estate business, check out this conversation with Kendra St. Pierre. All right, welcome to the show. Lauren and Jared talking residential real estate
with
today.
Kendra St. Pierre. Let's see. Comedian, faith forming, speech pathologist, real estate professional, snowball making swim mom. Cover it?
That covers it.
Gosh, you're boring.
No.
Which part of that whole sphere is your favorite thing to do? There's personal, there's business. Which one of that is your favorite?
Oh, that's really hard. I just really like people.
Yeah.
So I guess what they need and what where I can touch people is where the excitement is. But I'll tell you, a friend of mine one day when I was still working as a speech pathologist, which I do love that field, we were on the way to a training and she said, Kendra, you were talking today about, okay, I've got to do this and this and this. And then you went, and then I have an appointment to go show a house. And so I was like, whoa. So it really does excite me to help people find a home.
Yeah.
Or to help them sell their home, whatever their goal is.
Look, I feel the exact same way. People, my little brother, he's 30. He's like enjoying himself, trying to figure out like what he's passionate about with work. How did you find out what you were passionate about? Like you love this legal thing. I'm like, I don't love waking up every day and reviewing title or talking about, hard real estate deals. I enjoy it because I'm able to help people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like you got to find a way to help people and in a way that you do it well so people appreciate it.
The reward of impact.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's really what at least helps me wake up in the morning and get up to go to work. It sounds similar to you with the real estate deal. I mean, how many people do we get to impact in the real estate world? It's like you get buyers and sellers usually in an amicable way, buy and sell a home. Somebody gets a big check, somebody gets keys to a house, and it's a big deal for people, and it's fun to watch people get excited about it.
It is. And it's emotional either way. Like if they're, even if it's a good transaction, it's just emotional. It's a big transition. And I will tell you, Friday I was pretty excited to be with a bunch of little kids that are getting their first communion. I mean, that's like off the chain. So I really do love all the things that I do.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you're from Slidell originally?
I grew up I'm
Transplant.
from New Orleans and grew up in Metairie and then got married. We lived in Lakeview for 10 years. Our 2-bedroom house was a little bit, once the second child came actually, because kid stuff's so big. My husband got a job in Franklin, Louisiana.
Oh, nice.
And then after Katrina, some people went away. We said, let's just get back into it. So we came back and we moved to Slidell.
Nice. So I woke up the other day and I told my wife, like, when did we get to the point in our lives where every room in our house had a kid's toy in it? You know what I'm saying? Like one day you wake up with a baby and then there's just, you go from having your own adult space to like nothing is your own space, not from the shower to the bath. Every room in your house is a kid's toy. But like it's really the best.
It doesn't go away though.
Yeah.
Like Dylan now, it's not toys. We just wear the same size shoe.
Yeah.
So now I have her shoes and she has my shoes. Nice. So I still don't have my own space.
But it's great because I mean, like, again, at the end of the day, like that house that you lived in Lakeview, like when people are buying and selling their home, a lot of times the buyers don't realize what all the sentimental and emotional attachment is to the house because they didn't live there. Their kid didn't poop in that corner, or they didn't cook their first meal.
Your kids poop in corners? I thought we worked and talked about that.
Sometimes, but it's emotional, right? And that's what real estate's about. But again, if you understand that and you find the empathy and you relate to the people, it can be fun. And some agents and title companies and people in the real estate world get burnt out by the emotion and the stress related to the transaction. But that part of it, you can learn to enjoy knowing that how big of an impact you're making on people.
Agreed.
Right. And so, and then you get to, on the same note, it sounds like you're making a big impact on your community, not only in the real estate world, but you talked about the faith formation of these young kids. So tell us about that a little bit.
Well, when people want to learn about Jesus, they go to their church and join in classes. Some of the kids go to the school that's Catholic school, and some of the kids come in from private or public or wherever, homeschool,
Mm-hmm.
and they just want to learn. So we have CCD on Sundays, and then whenever they need a sacrament, we work on formation for that. So
What's your role in that whole thing?
I'm the director of faith formation at our
Okay.
church. Yeah,
And which church is that?
Our Lady of Lourdes
Nice.
in Slidell.
My church.
Okay, so y'all go to the same church. So you get to listen to Dylan and Jason Reed every Sunday over there at church.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I met this one through a ministry actually.
Yeah.
And how much of an impact has that had on your real estate career?
Oh, actually, I really try to be very careful to not. I mean, I know we're talking about it here, but I don't want anybody to feel like, oh gosh, I have to use Kendra because of this.
Yeah.
I want people to want to use me because I'm really good at real estate.
Yeah.
And I am. So that's what I want. I don't want them to feel pressure or anything. So I really don't use that.
Yeah.
I
So
think
tell us about
that's-
that.
That's
You-
the beauty, though, right? Of building relationships.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you build some kind of value and trust between the two of you. They're naturally going to join you in that
Yeah.
relationship. I always say, like, I don't ever want to have to convince anyone to do
No.
business with me for
No.
anything that I do, right? If you're
Mm-mm.
drawn to me, great. It'll happen,
Mhm.
and those will be the best business relationships. We
And
have.
honestly, I always tell people you need to be with someone that you like and that you trust. And a lot of people know real estate agents and realtors, but do they connect? You
Mhm.
know, and if you don't, I've been told I'm honest to my detriment. So I don't.
I'd
there's cer-
agree.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
So
Super fun
um,
about it, though.
yeah. So, but I'm not. You're not going to get. You know, what you see is what you get.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So tell us about that. I mean, you said you're a Compass Top 100 real estate agent,
Yes.
which is
Woohoo!
exciting. What does that mean?
So exciting. I don't know. I think there's like 3 million of us, and I got top 100. So I'm pretty sure like I'm in the top, like, I don't know. I'm not mathy, 0.001%.
You're
That's great.
special.
I'm special.
So what do you think sets you apart as a real estate agent?
I like people. I
Mhm.
really genuinely like people. I stay on top of it. I do have a lot of different things in my life. Probably if I was growing up now, they would put me on medicine. But I grew up at a different time. And so somehow I just figured out how to do a lot of different things. And I don't leave things undone. So I'm pretty, I wouldn't say obsessive, but I need to take care of the details. And that's important in real estate.
100%.
You gotta,
Amen. We thank you for it. We get to see
Mm.
the back end of it when people forget the details.
Yeah. No kidding. But you say that you said that some people might put you on medicine. I believe that there is a place for those types of people in this world, and if you medicate those people, they can't create things and do the things that people like you were able to do. And so I'm glad that you didn't have that put on you, because now you can be yourself and you can make the impact that you're making. And the fact that you are willing and able to button up the loose ends means that you connect a dot that most of those people don't. And a lot of real estate agents don't do that. I mean, a lot of agents have a hard time, especially as a solo agent that's not on a team or have somebody that more of an admin type position. They tend to leave things unbuttoned for people to have to go back and check them.
Yeah.
Or they spend a lot of time. They can't focus on what their gifts are. They're having to make sure that they're getting all the details taken care of, and it's hard for them to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
And so being able to do all that stuff and being a top 100 agent is a big deal. So do you have a team? That you work with?
Actually, I just joined in with Jessica Macaluso.
Yay.
She's a
Nice.
good friend of mine, and we see things very similarly. And it was a win-win for us. She's I'm licensed in Louisiana. She's in Louisiana and Mississippi, so
Great.
we can kind of take care of both. And she's been wonderful to work with. So.
Yeah, I mean, so many people in Slidell carry over to Mississippi.
Yep.
And so I think it's great to be able to do, especially
Mhm.
over there. I mean, even coming to West St. Tammany Parish, you don't see it nearly as much. I don't
Right.
have it nearly as many questions on this side of the parish when it gets
Right.
to
Get a
Mississippi.
ton.
Yeah, but I know
Mhm.
Lauren and the Slidell team gets a lot of questions about Mississippi work.
Yeah.
So being able to offer that resource to people is huge.
Absolutely.
People jumping over both sides of the state lines. People coming this way or going over there or buying a second home in Mississippi.
Yep.
I think it's great. We actually just went to Ocean Springs.
Fun.
Is that where I went? No, Gulfport
part?
to go to the aquarium.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
nice.
And that was really impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, don't judge me for this, I didn't know there was an aquarium in Gulfport
No.
till my wife was
Well,
like,
it
hey,
is
let's go to-
pretty new.
Yeah.
That one
Oh,
is.
is it?
That
Okay.
location's pretty new. It's only a few years. Huh?
I feel like we went when my kids were younger, and
Well, maybe they refreshed
maybe
it.
they yeah.
It's
It-
incredible.
it
refresh
was-
over there. It
Every
is
time
nice.
I go down there, I never really thought of that as being like a destination to go
Mhm.
visit. But going down there for a couple of different things, me and Lauren went down a couple times to meet with some clients, went to a retreat at my
Oh,
church, did a
nice.
retreat down
Yeah.
there. and then went to Gulfport with my kids to go see the aquarium. It's a lot
The
of fun
coast
stuff
has
to
a
do.
ton to offer. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're there all the time because there's an auditorium there.
Swim.
And then I was there for volleyball this weekend too.
That's
Nice.
right. Well, the beaches are beautiful. And honestly, it was a hot spot. My parents, when they got married in New Orleans, their first night they spent on the beach.
Wow.
There was
Yeah.
a place called, I think it was called the Beachcomber or something. I don't know. Maybe that's a place that you go late night in New Orleans. But it had that kind of a name, and that was the first night. And then they went to Mexico,
Cool.
Acapulco.
Yeah.
So, but people went there, and then Camille came and
Yeah.
kind of messed things up. So I think it's almost, you see that in areas with big storms. You know, look at New Orleans after Katrina, and
Yeah.
now some of the areas that were kind of dead are just
That was great.
beautiful and thriving. So
And it's fun doing, I mean, because we do business in Mississippi too, and it's fun doing closings with people over there. It's just a different vibe, different culture. And
absolutely.
they do things differently. The transactions are different, but it's fun doing business with people down there, and having that ability to go between the state lines
Yeah.
and do that work is important. So that's great. And so how long is she's at Compass too as well, right? Y'all are
Yes,
both out of the
yes.
Slidell
Actually, I
office.
started with Gardner. Gertrude Gardner was the first female broker in the
Mm-hmm.
state of Louisiana, and I thought that was just the coolest. Plus, when I was a kid, my parents closed with them, and I just assumed that Gertrude Gardner herself was their agent,
Nice.
but I don't think
Love
she
it.
was. I
No,
think
that'd
it
be
was
cool.
someone
That's a
else.
cool
But
story.
yeah, so I went to them, and it just felt good. It was a good. Herbert Dubisson was the manager at the time, and it had a good vibe. And I went to another place, and it just didn't feel the same. And that was the end of my tour. And I just said, I
went
want to
back.
be here. So then Ladder and Bloom purchased Gardner, and then Compass purchased Ladder and Bloom. So I haven't moved, but I've changed names a few times.
Well, yeah,
You've been
so-
along for the ride.
That's right.
It's inevitable that whether you stay in the same place and it gets bought out, or if you decide you're going to move a bunch, you're going to move spots in the real estate world.
Yep.
It's just how it is. But I'll tell you, I mean, I've spent a lot of time with Chip and Herbert, and I actually got to go with Chip to the Slidell location. No, I'm sorry,
Oh, nice.
the Bay St. Louis office.
Okay, yeah.
And I was so impressed by the ability of him to relate to the agents even
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
When he was managing all the offices. That was
Yep.
before Gardner was bought out, and the way that Gardner family was able to carry
Absolutely.
the values and the legacy through several generations is very
It's
impressive.
impressive.
says
It
a
was
lot about
beautiful
them.
over COVID. They did a lot of things for their agents to like keep our hearts okay because
Yeah.
it was such a hard time.
Yeah.
And then when we became essential, wow,
Yeah. That was fun.
that was time to pay off
Yeah.
the house.
yeah,
A
exactly.
lot of fireworks happen.
Yes,
During that time.
indeed.
But
Yes,
I mean, I think
indeed.
that says a lot about you too, though, to know, for me to know that you believed in the the Gardner family. And you stuck with them for so long, because I respect a lot about what Mr. Glenn did,
Oh yeah, he was
and
a blast.
and then Chip, who's carrying that legacy forward.
Yes.
I think they do a great job, and then Herbert, he's
Yeah,
great. He's
Yep.
Herbert. And then, but I also am excited about what Compass is doing, because it
Me
says a
too.
lot that Chip and Herbert decided to stay after all the transition.
that's right.
After meeting with them and all the things that they're doing when it comes to technology
Mhm.
and the things that they're offering to you guys, I think
Absolutely.
that Compass is going to be a force to reckon with over
I
the
do
next
too.
couple of years in this area too.
It's exciting to watch.